experience. So those first few days, what was that like? Did the reality match what we imagined? And how has it how's the journey shaped the way that we parent? I mean, look, straight off the bat, like, our experiences are polar opposites here, because I didn't go through anything medically. I had no difficulties with my hormones. I had a little bit, well, I did have grief still, obviously, from losing my nonna, but you know, I had this baby in front of me, and I adored him and I loved him with every part of me. So for me, it was a magical time, and seeing my parents hold him, all 4 of them, seeing my siblings, all 7 of them, hold him, you know, and my nieces and nephews and in-laws and you know, my family from Verity's side. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful time. It was. For what could have been a really sad, difficult time, that baby came along and brought a lot of joy into a lot of people's lives. So it was. But that doesn't mean to say that I don't appreciate why that was different for Verity. Because it was. Yeah, initially it was.
Yeah, it was different. And one thing that I struggled with was, obviously, I live away from my family. So I was really fortunate that my sister came up and she was...
We didn't want her to leave.
No, she was at our house waiting for us for when we got back from the hospital.
Still don't want her to leave.
No, we don't.
Still have her back.
But that was difficult. And obviously, yeah, like we brushed upon, obviously the birth wasn't the birth that I wanted. So, yeah...
It's hormonal as well. I think the hormones were massive. Kirsty, it was amazing. She was, I'm sure she'll watch this. She better watch this. Kirsty was fantastic. It was great having Kirsty there, because it just meant, and she did exactly what you would want someone to do who's going to be there in the initial few days after a baby. She kind of just, she didn't take over anything. She did all the background stuff so we could just get used to our life.
The washing up, making your coffee.
Yeah, she was just phenomenal. She, like, and when I would have all these visitors, because, like, I'm Italian, so, like, you know, 24 hours, everyone comes around, sees baby. Kirsty was running around getting, like, cups of tea and coffee and making sure there were biscuits and stuff, and she was supporting Verity. I think one of the funniest sights I ever saw, which showed me a lot about them as sisters, right, was when Verity was trying to harvest colostrum from her breasts, and I just turned around and I was like, Kirsty was sat there trying to help you do it, and I was like, whoa. So, like, I love my sisters, but I just don't think we'd do that. But yeah, no, it was amazing. But yeah, for Verity it was different. There was the hormone aspects, the fact that the birth hadn't gone the way she wanted. Verity also, because Pep was so little and Verity was so, she'd gone through a C-section and she had lost a lot of blood. Verity wasn't well enough to come to my nonna's funeral, and that really broke her heart as well. She found that really difficult. And then on top of that, the other thing that she really, really wanted to do, as well as have a natural birth, was
breastfeed. And unfortunately, due to one reason or another, it just didn't work out that way, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to do that. I don't know why, because he got fed regardless, so it really didn't matter.
Yeah, he didn't care. It was
I think it was more for me.
Actually, it meant that I could feed him as well.
Yeah, it was more for me, I think, and the guilt that I felt with the birth that I had, and
you did want to give him the best, though.
I did want to give him the best, of course. Of course. However, we weren't fortunate for me to be able to breastfeed. I did try, and it is what it is, really. Yeah,
I think that was difficult, and I think it was one of the things that took a while. For me, I knew it and I could see it, and you might not remember it as much, but I just knew, and it was really hard, because what you want to be able to say to him is like, don't worry, don't feel bad about it, it's fine, but like, that's not going to touch the surface like that. It's not going to make a difference in how she felt. She wanted to be able to breastfeed. She found that really difficult, and all I wanted was her to just give herself a break, for her to not feel bad about the fact that she couldn't have a natural birth, for her to not feel bad about the fact that she couldn't breastfeed. And I think we've kind of said that we're not going to have another one, but I think at one time we did think about having another one, and at that point, I think because of your previous experiences, you'd already said, I'm not going to stress if I can't breastfeed, or we can't have a natural birth, I'm not going to worry about it. I'd like to, but if I can't, I can't. And that was the difference. She was so set on having a natural birth, so set on breastfeeding. When neither happened, that was just like a catalyst for you to really, a moment spiral. Like, you know, you really struggled emotionally.
I did.
And you were in pain.
A lot of pain.
And she had this, because Verity you lost a lot of blood, and because of the cut and everything else, you had what was it called? The thing you had?
Oh, PQ dressing.
Dressing that made like weird noises every now and again, like it was like a whirring sound, wasn't it? So nothing about it you liked. Like, it was uncomfortable. I mean, you were amazing. Like, I've got to say this, she was phenomenal from day one. Verity always looks back and says, I feel so bad that I wasn't the parent he needed me to be, because, you know, mentally you were diagnosed with.
So postnatal depression, it's a really important thing that everybody should be able to speak about, alongside, I can't remember.
PTSD though, really.
Yeah, it was, an anxiety due to the birth and everything after. It was tough, it was really tough. I was really fortunate that there was help out there, and I had a psychiatrist, and I was prescribed medication. Probably medication that I probably needed before I was even pregnant, because it's really helped with previous things that I probably need help with.
I think people worry though. I think mothers worry, and especially after the fact, they worry about talking about it because they worry it makes them look like they're unfit to look after their children, and that's just not right.
And that was a worry that I did have as well.
Yeah, you were. You were like, I don't know.
A social service is going to come and knock on my door and take my baby away.
Take my baby away.
However, that is so far from the truth. So far. There's so much help out there.
And it's about people understanding.
It's
about having your partner understand it and be empathetic to it, and realise that actually, yes, that your partner is not how you typically know them to be, but they are going through a period of challenging mental health, and their brain is not chemically working the way that it typically would. And you have to understand that, and you have to be empathetic towards that. You can't try and fix it, you can't try and take it away. You just have to be whatever it is that they need. And I think that's something that's really important for a lot of people to know. But yeah, I mean, Verity struggled. But the thing is, and she doesn't, I don't know if you believe me when I say this, but it's so true. It's like any bit of energy, it's like you had an instinct, and any bit of energy you had to be positive and everything else, you piled into Pep. Like you just, every moment you were parenting him, you were perfect. You were absolutely perfect. Like, you didn't let
stop
it. You didn't let what you were experiencing change how great you were. You were amazing. I was so proud of you.
I still am amazing, by the way.
I know she still is amazing, but I was so proud of you. I was so proud of you about what you were able to do, going through what you were going through emotionally. It was inspiring, and I knew at that point I've got a good one there. I'd already proposed anyway, but
yes,
that was a high point of the pregnancy. I proposed.
You did.
I proposed when we had our first date. There you are. First few days like that. Like I said, polar opposite experiences. I think the one thing that was, and this was just before he was born, was when Verity was in theatre. I think I had the scariest moment of my life, and it's where Verity had the, I always want to say epidural. I think my mum used to call them that for fun, being funny, epidural. But oh my goodness, like, it was hard. I mean, you went through a lot to have that, and her blood pressure plummeted, and she went blue on the operating table, and I was sort of sat on that little stool a couple of feet away, and I looked at her and I was like, it was terrifying seeing her.
I thought I was going to die.
It was awful. But oh my God, weren't they amazing? Like, the anaesthetist, how sweet was she?
She's
and
amazing.
The midwife, and oh God, everyone was just brilliant. They were such amazing people. But so that bit was scary. But yeah, like I said, like, Verity lost a lot of blood. How much was it in the end?
I can't remember.
A lot though, wasn't it?
It was a lot, yeah.
I was with Pep, which for what felt like hours while they were stitching you up. I remember a moment when I was holding Pep. It was weird because, like, obviously we were holding him together, but your head was just like that, and they had the screen up, And I was like holding him by your head, and at one point, for some reason, I went, I just wonder, and I was like, oh, I was like, blood everywhere. I was like, nope. So yeah, different experiences completely, and I think all I could do, and I hope I did it as much as I could have done, was be able to acknowledge that it was different experiences and understand that. Why
100%. You were amazing. I couldn't have done it without you.
Cheers.
It's okay.
Thanks, babe. Okay, yeah. So I think that's what it is.